never meant to cause you any pain. Only one time, I only want to see you laughing in the purple. Sing! I can't hear you, baby. Let's do a little louder than that. One more time. Sing! Oh, yes, baby, we love you. Purple rain, purple rain. Only wanna see you. Only wanna see you. Only wanna see you. Wow, Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
What's good? What's going on out there in Passport Bros land? It's your man, not your boy. One of the original old school O.G.Passport Bros. Back at you again. This is my second live. I went live a couple of days ago and I was talking about Japan and the last time I went live, and specifically I was talking about Osaka. And as always, I have to put some receipts up before I go live, before I actually talk to you guys, put some receipts up in front. If it's a little too long, I'll cut it down in the future. But just to let you know, to show you, because it's better that I show you and you see it than me just talk about it, because, you know, as they say, talk is cheap. But those receipts up front shows you exactly who I am and what I've been doing all that time, being a passport bro back in the 80s and the 90s. That was my era. For 22 years, I was a passport bro. From 1982 to 2002. I was traveling all over the world, but mostly in Asia. I actually lived in a couple of those countries for extended period of time, over, when I say extended period of time, at least a year or more. All the other countries has been months. But I lived 10 years in Japan, and I lived 1 year in Singapore. And that's what this particular live is going to be about. I'm going to talk about what you just saw in the beginning of this video. My 1 year in Singapore as an entertainer. I'll say again, as I said in some previous videos, the difference between me as a passport bro and everybody else is that I was an entertainer. So when I was going over to all those places, sorry about that, just fell down a little bit. When I was going over to all those countries, I was going as an artist, either part of a group or as a solo artist, out on doing my own thing, you know, with my own show. So I talked exclusively about, well, this is my third live. The first live I talked about my time in the 80s with the Platters. I'm a former member of Platters. I talked about that in the first live. And that was more touring. The longest we'll stay in a place would be probably a month. It's usually one-nighters, 10 days to 2 weeks, and occasionally a month. And that was from 82 to 92, right? I did that with the Platters. After which is where I went as an artist, as Teddy Fame, with my band, Fame and Fortune. And the first tour was Japan. And we was based for 4 months, we were based in Osaka at a spot. We had two spots. One spot was called Bayside Jenny's, and the other spot was called the Underground. That was back in 90, and that was for 4 months. Then we left there, and then we went over to Singapore, where I eventually did 1 year as a residency at this place called the Chameleon. I'm not sure if this is like 92, 91, 92, so I'm sure that place is not even there anymore. It was in Marina Bay. It was in Marina Bay. Kamis was the guy who owned the place. He was a very rich dude. Where was he from? Iranian or one of those places? Can't remember exactly. But he had some money problems, and after he built that place, he had to get out. Anyway, so I was a residency band there, and I was the opening act for people like the Commodores, Spiral Gyro, Jody Watley, Blue Magic, all the groups all the acts that were coming there. Teddy Fame was the opening act, and that's my show. So that's what you saw in the beginning of that. That's what I would do. That's right, and I'm the opening act. So whoever the artist is got to follow that. I'm just saying. Anyway, there's some things I know you guys will really want to hear about more than me talking about myself. So that's enough about me. Let's talk about Singapore. The thing that struck me the most about Singapore, well, it's a few things. One of the things that I didn't like so much was the way the country policies was. Now, it was a strict country, and it has strict policies. Check this out. One of the policies is chewing gum is banned. That's right, I said it. Banned from that country. You will get fined if they saw you chewing gum. Crazy, right? Now, I'm not sure if these policies are still in effect. We're talking about in 92, right? 91, 92. Another thing, public restrooms. They have signs on the wall say, you will be fined if you don't flush the toilet. This is crazy, right? Everything in terms of entertainment is closed by either 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. I know 2 o'clock, everything is no more. All the clubs are closed. Only thing that's open until the morning is Denny's. So people, after the club, people will go to Denny's and hang out before they go home or whatever. It's crazy. The entertainment was incredible. They had Filipinos. So the entertainment that was coming over to entertaining people were Americans, myself, Filipinos, because there were some Filipinos. I called them the Black Asians. They got our talent. Those Filipinos can play instruments and sing. Musically, they got our talent. They're nice. They're nice. And then my introduction to Thai women. I had met some Thai women in Singapore because, you know, they would come over there to, you know, make some money. So I got introduced to Thai women while I was in Singapore for that time. And then eventually I got the chance to go to Thailand, Bangkok. But right now we're in Singapore. And here's the thing, guys, about Singapore and women. There are three kind of women in Singapore. There's Malays, there's Indians, and there's Chinese. The Malays and Indians, they look like South American women. They are nice shapes, nice kind of tone, browny skin, and long jet black hair. I'm telling you, amazing. Oh man, I love those women, and they love us. And regardless of whatever anybody tell you, when you go to Asia and you from America and you black and from America, man, you got carte blanche, man, in terms of socializing with women. Now, again, this is 2023, you know. I was specifically in Asia, specifically in the 90s. And that's when it was like the height, especially for black people over there, seeing black Americans over there as much as they did back in the 90s. That's when it really blew up. So maybe today is kind of different. So I can't really speak on what's like today, but I'm just going to give you my experiences from the 90s when I was touring throughout Asia. But right now we're talking about Singapore. And the best part about, for me in Singapore, being an entertainer, I didn't have to go out looking for women, right? Because I'm singing in the nightclub. They coming to see me perform. So I got my choice every night. I'm just saying, you know, I'm just saying. And that itself was exciting, man. I tell you, here was the thing though. Us musician entertainers that were working over there as entertainers, we had to deal with the American military, because they were the Navy specifically. They were port in Singapore, and those guys would be like in the ocean. They'd be in for like 2-3 months at a time. So you know, when they come to land, they like fish out of water. They can't wait to see some women. And I got some stories about that that's gonna blow your mind. But so here's the thing with those guys. They usually are very aggressive because they ain't got but short time, so they're gonna try to as many as quickly as possible. And they don't like no for an answer, and they're very jealous, and they're confrontational. So just to summarize, and us musicians, well, we will always get in it, have trouble with these dudes because the women want us, they want, but those women don't want them. They want us. You know, we're here. They gonna see us nightly, and we're entertaining them. Whereas you guys come off in the military, come off these ships and stuff, just trying to, you know, do what you got to do, so, and out of there. So normally what we do after we finish working at the club, we don't hang out, man. We jet back to the crib, and the girls usually follow us or meet us at the crib later, you know. So we don't deal with that situation with those military guys who are thinking that, you know, the world is yours. And being aggressive, and they're young, so young and aggressive. But here's a story I was gonna tell you about a situation with the military guys, and I loved it. I was dying. Okay, so one thing Thailand is known for is the lady boys, right? And you can't tell the difference, man. A lot of times you can't tell the difference. I mean, you gotta really look at them, and cause their voices, you know, they look, and they don't have no Adam's apple and stuff. You gotta look at their, I guess you could probably look at their hands and feet, but they small, so they ain't big. So, and if you drink it, so this is how it went down. So, you know, those guys in the Navy, they was port for 3 days in Singapore. Those Thai lady boys was in full effect at the clubs, man. So what they would do, those lady boys, they would hang around they won't come in the club. They be hanging outside the club. They just be outside on the street, outside the club, waiting for the guys to come out, because when those guys come out, they nice and drunk, and yeah, you know what I'm saying. And so this is the opportunity. And a lot of those Navy guys got tricked, if you know what I mean. And I remember one specific guy who I got to know, because he was there for about a week. And he was honest with me. He said, yo, man, I'm going to tell you the truth. I thought it was a girl. We got back to the room. I was like, oh, wow. Well, whatever. All right. And he, you know, he came back and told me, you know, that, you know, he had, you know, the wild thing. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, you crazy, man. Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. This, you know, but I'm showing you how rough it is them guys in the military. I could never be in the military. You know, and like I said, the Navy, and they were on them ships out there in the middle of the ocean for like 2-3 months. Man, you crazy. You know, I'm glad I choose the life that I chose as a musician. Anyway, getting back to that. So, the girls, and there's so many, I mean, Jesus, it had to be like 3 to 4 women to every man on that island. It was so many single women, it was crazy. I'm telling you, it was 3 kinds of women they had there. They had Chinese, Indians, and Malays. You know, because Malaysia is right next to Singapore. As a matter of fact, I had to go to Malaysia to get my visa situation, and it came right back to Singapore. So Malaysia's right there. You can get there quick. So you got Malaysia and Indonesia on the east side down there, because that's all Southeast Asia. And Singapore is the tip. It's the furthest you can go down in Asia. That's the last country in Asia. That's the last country in Asia. First you go down. Then when you go over the ocean, that's Australia. So you get a lot of Australia. Oh, I got stories about that too. So a lot of Australians will come over to Singapore for a vacation, you know. And like I said, nightly, there's something going on where people are out doing their thing. And if you like Asian food, a lot of street vineyards. I was eating a lot of duck. They tried to get me to eat some shark. There's shark fins and octopus. Nah, man, I'm not eating that stuff. But that's part of their delicacies. You know, they had a joke running around talking about, if you notice, those cats that are running around, ain't no cats got tails. They chop off all the cat tails either. I don't believe that, but I did notice, man, none of the cats have tails. It's like, yo, what happened to the cat tails? You know, none of them had tails. They were just running around, and it was funny, you know what I'm saying? But now the Chinese women, because the Chinese men, they're kind of standoffish towards us, or they was at the time. You know, I did have in the year I was there, because I had a few girlfriends. So yeah, I had a Chinese girlfriend, but the best relationship I had is with a Malaysian girl, you know. The Indonesian girl was cool, but that Malaysian girl, oh man, she was the bomb. And the Chinese they particularly prefer white people. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it a buck. So they looking at white dudes more than us black guys. But the Indians and the Malaysia, they hollering at the brothers. And I'm telling you, man, there's some beautiful women. Beautiful women. I wish I had my photo book, because what I used to do is I used to take pictures of all these beautiful women, man. And I had somebody stole my book. So hold up, they steal my book, man. I had a book full of women, you know. And the great thought about this book, so I would have pictures of them when I met them, pictures of them when we got to do the wild thing, and then pictures of them afterwards. So I was doing I was doing some crazy stuff in terms of living my life over there, Now, at the time, I'm a young dude, man. So what, I'm in my late 20s, early 30s and 90s. So I'm doing my thing, man. So I'm living to the fullest. No kids, never been married, just having a great time over there. So I didn't have no restrictions and nobody trying to tie me down. And another thing, I found is the best thing to do is not fall for these girls or not try to claim them. Because these girls, we're like revolving doors to these girls. As soon as you leave the country, another dude coming in, got your spot. And that you forgotten the next dude. So we got used to that. So I've seen a lot of broken hearts. I've seen a lot of guys go over there and fall in love with these girls, and she out there messing with this other homeboy because she like him too. So they used to being shared. So don't go over there thinking, well, you might meet somebody and fall in love, but if you're a player, nah, I don't be trying to go over there falling for these girls, man. Go over there, have some fun, have a good time, because they're going to show you a good time. Because they want to have fun too. And if you meet somebody that you want to spend, because they ain't coming back here. So the dudes who went over there, who I went over there with, they actually married some of those girls, and they still over there. They still over there to this day. They are living in Singapore, but it was just, for me, I had to go there, then I want to go another spot. I want to go to Japan, I want to go all over the world. So I wasn't trying to be tied down with one girl living in that country. Even to this day, I'm talking about like 92 to this day, I still got homeboys that's living in Singapore, that's married with Singapore kids. But another cool thing over there too, like I said, you got those girls from Australia. The Australian girls come over too for vacation. And when they come over, trust me, they coming over to live their fullest. They coming over to have the best time. It's like Vegas to them. Singapore is like Vegas. Whatever happens in Singapore stays in Singapore. And I got stories of me doing all kind of crazy stuff. And this is back in the 90s where you had your camcorder. A couple of Australian girls go back to the crib. We make our own movie, man. And I'm telling you, that's how crazy it was back there, man. And those Australian girls love us. They love black guys. If you get a chance to go to Australia, I've never been to Australia, but I'm from Singapore, because they come over to Singapore for a vacation. So I've had my relation with them in Singapore, and I'm telling you, they love black guys. Those girls from Australia, man, and they love a good time. Anyway, for that whole 1 year I lived in Singapore, my life just consists of singing in the nightclub and hanging out during the daytime. And I got accustomed to the country and to the lifestyle. So I was moving around during the daytime because I was only working 5 nights a week in the club. As opposed to when I'm in Japan, I was working 6 nights a week. So 5 nights a week in the club. And it was a shorter period of time because, like I said, all the clubs in Singapore close at 2. As opposed to Japan, those clubs don't close at like 5 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So it was a whole different kind of thing. So a little slower. And that's Southeast Asia. Now they're more restrict. Singapore, I put Singapore in a nutshell for you. Singapore is like being an adult, living in your parents' home under kids' rules. That's what Singapore felt like to me. Because you can't do this. You can't have that. You can't watch this. You can't do everything that you can't do. You can't do. You can't do. You can't have. The only good drawback, the only good positive thing I got out of Singapore was the women. The women. The women. The women. The women. I love them. I love the women. I enjoyed every moment over there and the times I had over there with them. But this one ain't gonna be too long. I just really want to talk about my experiences there and what to expect. And like I said, when I say what to expect, I'm talking about 20 years ago. So I know times have changed. It'd be like me telling you what LA is like back in 92. I wasn't here in 92, so and it's not only wasn't here, it's not the same as it was in 92 as it is today. You know, so it's a different culture now. So I'm sure because so many guys been coming through Singapore, so many foreigners been coming through Singapore that it's probably, I got somebody just from me. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Who's this? Who I got came in? Oh, this is hot. Is overheating again? Okay, I'll take care of that. There you go. Sorry about that, guys. My phone was overheating. So, as I was saying, 20 years ago is when I did my time, my year in Singapore. So, I'm sure with all the guys that have been coming over there now, all the foreigners been coming in, and they used to foreign, and they're used to black guys. So, the reception might not be as exciting as it was when I was over there because it was like new, fresh. You know, they're seeing all these black guys from America that's constantly coming over because we entertain us. And we got to stay longer as opposed to just being in the military and coming over there for like 2-3 days or a week and then you out. You know, we over there for months at a time, up to a year, because I was there for 1 year. They drink a lot. When it comes to puff, puff, pass, pass, you can get it, but be careful, you know, because they got their laws, and I'm sure they're still the same laws today as it was right then. They will cane your behind in public. That's right, they will cane you in public when you break one of their laws. And they still have that D penalty over there too, depending on how severe a law you broke. So I would say try not to get in no trouble and try not to break none of their laws, but just go over there for your little visit. It's a small island, so you could be there for a couple of weeks and seeing everything, you know. Small community. But like I said, one of the exciting things about it is the variety of women. There's so many different kind of women over there, not just one type of woman. Like I said, there's the Chinese, the Indians, and the Malays. So, and then all the foreign women, all the foreign women that's coming over there, that's living there from Australia, over there in Singapore too. So, it's not as cheap as Thailand, because Singapore is not a third world country. It's a first world country. It's actually a first world country. It's just one of the few first world countries in Asia. Like Japan's a first world country, you know. So it's not, and it's one of the few first world countries in Southeast Asia, as opposed to Thailand, Malaysia, or Indonesia. Those are still, I think, in Korea, and no, not Korea, but Philippines. I think those are still more of the third world country, but that's definitely first world country Asia, but Singapore. But it is, and it's clean, and it's so modern and so clean. That's another thing that's gonna amaze you. There's no litter. You get fined for littering. There's no litter on the streets. They got garbage disposals at every corner, so you're gonna pick up trash and put it. If you see trash on the floor, you pick it up and put it in the garbage. That's how clean. But you get used to And I did like that about the country, that it was so clean, and you can get used to that as opposed to here in the Matrix. Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Here in the Matrix, it's that bad. You know, I've been in the Matrix since back, honestly, I haven't left the country since 2002. I full up. I'm on my fourth passport, okay? My fourth passport. I got 3 of them suckers that's full up back to back. So this is my 4th one. I just got it a year and a half ago and I haven't used it yet. But after watching you guys' video, all you guys, and I tagged a lot of you guys, and hopefully some of you guys that I tagged eventually pop in and see this and see the discussion I'm having. You guys inspired me to want to get back out. And so since I already done the Asian thing, I want to go to Africa, you know. So I'm already making plans to go to not Nigeria, that's West Africa. I want to go to East Africa. I want to go to Kenya. I want to go to Nairobi. That's right, Mombasa. I want to check those places out. And it's more East Asia, so it's closer to, and eventually I want to go to Ethiopia, because I'm just keeping it 100. Those are the type of African women I like. That look. So not so much of the West African or South African look. That North African look, I love. I'm just keeping it 100. I'm just saying, you know, that's what I like. So that's my adventure. So I'm planning on going to Africa this year, sometime this summer. But I am gonna make another stop back in Thailand, because Thailand, and watching you guys over there in Pattaya, because I didn't get a chance to go to Pattaya. I was in Bangkok. I was only there for 2 weeks. I'm not gonna lie. We was in a nightclub performing, and I'll give you my quick Thailand story. So we was in Thailand in 1992. It was already booked in a club in 2 years. I don't even ask me the name of the club. I can't remember the name of the club, but the agent that booked us over there, couple of things. They wanted to impress us. So when we got to Thailand, they took us out to this mansion. And if any of you guys in Thailand know what I'm talking about, in Bangkok, it was a big ass mansion with a bunch of rooms. And each room had a small 4-piece bed, and they had a bunch of girls. So they had the girls line up against the wall, and you choose what girl you want to sit and entertain you, and then the rest of them will leave. And you can have how many girls you want. And then at the end of the night, the guy who owned the place will ask you, which one of these girls you want to, and they would be at the hotel lobby waiting for you. When you get back to the hotel, they waiting for you at the lobby. I'm like, what? Man, Thailand. I call Thailand Silent Gomorrah, man, because everything and anything going on in that sucker boy, especially Bangkok, especially Papang, the red light districts, and the name of them clubs. The name of them clubs, when I was going, I can't even say it on this view. The name of those clubs. It's called We You. Galore. That's the name of these places. And the girls, you walk in the spot, and somebody tell me I'm lying. You walk, if they still do this, you walk in one of those spots. They doing stuff on stage, right? Live, right in front of you. They doing it. And then the girl will meet you at the door. She grab your joint. And she hold on to your joint and walk you to your table. Hold on. I'm like, whoa. Thailand. I'm telling you, boy, that's what, and this was in 92, so I don't know if it's calmed down, but it was fire in 92, man. And what else? Oh, in the club that we was performing at, so the club owner had an office right above the stage, and a spiral step to come from his office, come down to the back of the stage, and then you go on the stage to perform. In his office, on his table, on his desk, he had Thai stick, he had this thing, he had booger sugar, and he said, you guys come up, help yourself, and then go ahead and perform. You can come up anytime you want. I'm telling you. I'm just saying, this how it was. It was crazy in Thailand, man. It was crazy. And I was only there for 2 weeks, so that left a great impression on me. That's why I want to go back. And I always wanted to go to Pattaya and a couple of those other islands, but I never got a chance because we was only there for 2 weeks, and then we had to go, we was on tour. And I always promised. And then I'm watching you guys in Pattaya, and y'all saying how cheap those beachfront apartments are. Man, I might just go to Thailand and buy an apartment just to have and be my base and then travel the world from there. Not even coming back, because I'm a retired. I retired from singing. I'm an actor now. I'm out here in Hollywood. I do a lot of background work. I'm in a lot of movies and TV shows here recently, just doing background work. I'm also doing some feature work, but not as much, and some commercials. So that's what I'm doing now. But I'll be 64 this year. I know I don't look it, but yeah, I'll be 64 this year. So I'm planning on making this, well, maybe not my last year, but winding down from this and retiring from show business. Because I'll tell you one thing that I have that's an advantage for me, because living in Asia as an entertainer, I already know how to make money as an entertainer over there. I play piano, and I can sing and play piano at some of these small bars or hotels and make some side money if that's what I choose, but that's not necessary because I got a nice little stash, so I'm good. But if I wanted to do that just because I can, I probably would do that. Having multiple streams of income, even to this day, I still have multiple streams of income, which is great. So money's not going to be an issue, but I really want to enjoy the rest of whatever I have left of this wonderful life that I've lived. I've lived all my dreams come true. I've done everything I can imagine. I've been all over the world. I've been treated like a star. As you can see in the beginning of this video, like I said, I have receipts. So if you haven't seen the beginning of this live, go back because I post receipts. And you see me performing in some of these venues. Yeah, I was a star over there, a bona fide star over there. And I got the videos to prove it. So go ahead and watch it if you don't believe me. But besides what I'm saying there, I really just want to share how wonderful it was living in Singapore for that time, and how that you guys should put that on your checklist if you haven't put that on your checklist. I haven't been to Vietnam. You know, that's crazy. I think because Vietnam wasn't paying the kind of money that these other countries are paying. Probably the closest, Taipei is probably one of the smaller countries I went to. But Singapore, Japan, Hong Kong, Taipei, Korea, they was paying. Nice, so you make it. Look, at the height of my career, I was making $5,000 a week. $5,000 a week, and this is back in the 90s, okay? Imagine making $5,000 a week in the 90s, and all you doing is singing in a freaking club for a few hours a night. Okay? So it was those 10 years was like a dream and a dream come true. First, it's going to be with me for the rest of my life. It's always here. I'm probably going to write a book about all the stuff I've done, and especially the 80s, me being a member of the Platters for 10 years, and that was kick-started. I became a passport bro in 1982 at the age of 22 when I joined the Platters. Because as soon as I joined the Platters, I had to get a passport, because they was it was a world famous group, so they perform all over the world. First time I joined a group, we had to go to where? Vienna, Austria for one day and then come back. That's crazy. In the 80s, I did most of my world touring in the 80s as a member of the Platters. Because when I went solo, because of the agents that I met along the way, I was able to book myself in Asia. So I was doing from Southeast Asia all the way to East Asia. So from Japan to Singapore and everything in between, I was performing in those countries. It was easier to book me over there. And I liked it better than going over to Europe. So more of the Europe stuff was in the 80s with the Platters. And most of the Asian stuff was in the 90s as a solo artist, as what you see in that video. Actually, this particular video is in Singapore at the Club Chameleon that I told you about in Marina Bay. So I'm not sure if that place is still there. But that, and you see how large that venue is? You see how large that stage is? That's the stage I've opened up for the Commodores, Jody Watley, Spiral Gyro, Blue Magic, a few other acts. So I did that. What else I'm going to talk about Singapore? Singapore, the people, some really, really cool people, man. The guys are really nice. The guys are really friendly. Because they, at that time, you know, all they was known about black people in America is what they saw on TV and videos and stuff. So they wanted to be cool. They wanted to know the latest fashion and the latest lingo and all that stuff. They were very inquisitive. They asked a lot of questions, and it was fun. For you guys who your first time going overseas, you're gonna find the thing you're gonna find out the most is that the way the people treat you. They treat you with like a sense of specialty that you're not used to. And it's going to take you a minute to get used to. They treat you like you would treat some chick over here that you're trying to get with. Nicer. You know what I'm saying? They are nicer than you probably going to be used to being treated. Especially over here. You ain't going to... It's that bad. Okay, it's that bad. You know, I even made a vow to myself from this moment on, I'm saving myself until I get over to Asia. I don't want to deal with none more of this foolishness, no more of these knuckleheads, no more of this. I need peace. And that's another thing, man. The peace you're going to get from those women, they want you to be happy. Because when you happy, you treat them good. They smart. Them girls know what they're doing. They go out of their way to make you feel comfortable. You need anything? You hungry? What you want? What's wrong? You want to talk? I mean, have you ever had a woman wake you up and ask you, do you want her? First thing in the morning? Only. And I'm telling you right now, I know you guys who are over there in Asia know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm trying to keep it as clean as possible, you know? And the thing you're going to get from me that's different from all the other Passport Bros is that I'm telling you from the perspective of an entertainer, not just a regular guy. So I'm going to get treated better than any regular guy. I don't care how cool you are. I don't care what you look like. I don't care how much money you got. The fact that I'm an entertainer and these girls come to the club where I'm singing at to see me makes me on another level from all you Passport Bros that just going over there, you know, using your savoir-faire, which is cool. I ain't got nothing got that. But I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it a buck. I'm just saying, you know. And I'm just sharing this. I just want y'all to know what it was like, man. I test myself, and this one I knew I was doing too much, okay? And this is gonna mess you up. This is when I knew I was doing too much. I test myself. Oh man, what's this? I test myself. There's 31 days in a month, right? This is honest. No bull. It's 31 days in a month. I did my thing with a different girl every night for 31 days. that was possible there. Because this is how it would go down with me. Okay, I'm in the club, I'm on stage, so who they gonna see first? The singer, right? So I'm looking out, and all these girls, they looking at me with all these Google eyes and stuff. So I know, oh yeah, oh yeah. So I had my pick every night. And these girls knew if they didn't get with me that night, they might have a chance to get with me another night because I wasn't claiming none of them. And after they seen me going through a few of them, they knew what time it was. So any given night, in a club, I can leave that club with one of these girls. Sometimes I would do two. Menage a trois, yes. Done that. Done that. You know, you say I done it. You've been there, done that, you know. Great stories, like I said. I'm gonna eventually write a book about all these stories. Probably rated R or something. Rated X. It'll be a chapter rated X. It's gonna be a rated X chapter because I can go into detail. Another thing about these Asian women, they shy until you get there behind closed doors. And you start doing, hey, they ain't shy no more. When you start, it's like a waterfall, dude. I ain't never felt that much wetness in my life. Not just dry. I'm talking about a waterfall these girls get to. My matches and sheets used to be soak. I'm telling you the truth, man. I'm telling you the truth. I'm not lying to you. So, and every day, like I said, you know, man, I don't want to sound like, but you got me remembering things now. You know, every night, there was nights when I was so tired, man, I said, you know, I don't want nobody tonight. No, not tonight, not tonight. I'm going, man. And I'm telling you guys, when you get a taste of that lifestyle, coming back here to this, it don't cut it. And I ain't used to having no woman talk back to me in no aggressive way. You know, they don't do that over there. You know, they'll give you their point and they're going to back up. They ain't going to stay in your face pushing no issue. They're going to say what they got to say and then they're going to know their place and back up because, like I said, if you happy, then you're going to be good to them. And that's their secret. That's how they know how to get us guys and keep us over there. A lot of you guys over there now ain't trying to come back home. You know, I see my man Austin Holland, he's in Vietnam now? I didn't go to Vietnam, man. I never go, but I'm watching you. I'm living through you, vicariously through you on your Vietnam journey. So I'm watching all your Vietnam things. And I'm gonna put that on the checklist. When I do go back overseas, I'm gonna visit them. I'm gonna watch some more of your videos because I agree with you about the Philippines. Didn't like it. Didn't care for it. Didn't like it. You know, I prefer Thailand better than the Philippines, but I prefer Japan #1. So Austin, you ain't get to Japan yet. I got a few countries on you over there in Asia you got to go to. Singapore and Japan. Korea also. South Korea. Got to get to South Korea. Get down to Itaewon. That's their little nightlife area called Itaewon in South Korea. And let me tell you something. South Korean women? Yo, we get the bad representation of Asian women when they come to America. They don't look like the real Asian women over there. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there's some thick Asian women in every one of those countries. Not just that, you saw that thick Asian woman Austin had in Thailand. Man, dude, I had a half Japanese, half Brazilian. Okay? half Japanese, half Brazilian. Can you just imagine that? She had a Japanese face with a Brazilian body. Oh my freaking God. All right. So in Korea, oh, they got some thick ones in Korea too, man. Hong Kong too. I'm telling you, man. But you only see the ones with money that come over here, right? And they usually the rich ones with a lot of money, and they don't represent what the average woman over in those countries look like, because I'm telling you, you're gonna have a different perspective, you know. And they don't have this hang up about sex like with religion, because they're Buddhists. Unless you go to one of those South Malaysia or Indonesia, I think they're Muslims over there. But Buddhists, majority of Asians are Buddhists, and so they don't have that Jesus thing as a hang up like, let's say, Americans or people who are Westerners who follow Christianity. So they don't take it with a taboo that much. But you have to show the respect. You have to respect it though, man. You have to respect the people. Respect the women. Just, you know, they're gonna treat you good. And just show them you don't have to go there playing. You don't need to be no playboy. You don't need to have no game. Ain't about none of that stuff, because they ain't used to those kind of men. You know what I'm saying? You already special because you're African American. You already special, so you don't have to do nothing else special. Just be yourself. Soon as they hear you talk, they already want to be around you. They already want to be around you soon as they hear you talk, because it's like you in a country in France and you hearing French people talk, or some French girl talking, man, I want to be around that girl. I like the way she said. That's how they see us, especially us Black Americans, because we have our slang and our lingo that's like popular all over the world. Everybody's cool. Everybody's like it and it's like cool with it. So that in itself makes you popular. So we got all the things that's gonna make you stand out anyway. Soon you step into the spot, you're gonna stand out. First of all, you're gonna be probably taller than everybody in here. At least I am. I'm 6'2". So when I walk into the spot, I'm taller than everybody, so I can look over everybody's head. So everybody's looking up when I walk in. But the average, you know, I think the average height over there is 5'6", 5'7". And what's the average American height? 5'10", 5'9", 5'10". So I think we just averagely taller than them anyway. So that's the advantage. So you got all the advantages of just being you. So you don't need no game and none of that other stuff. Just go over there, be nice to them. Niceness works over there, okay? They appreciate when you show them nice gestures. You ain't got to spend no money. Just do something nice for them or with them, and that's enough for them, you know? And in most of those countries, like this guy's tell you, they cheat. Your dollar goes a long way over there. So if you budget your money right, money won't be an issue for you. Money should not be an issue for you. If you budget your money right, it should not be an issue. Is this lighting right? Because I'm just looking at the thing. It looks like it's dark. Sorry about that if y'all can't see me. It's getting dark outside. Look behind me. That's the, sorry about my ring, but that's the LA skyline. I live in downtown LA from my apartment. We're gonna do this in my studio right now I'm in. And that's the downtown LA skyscrapers, of what they call skyscrapers. I'm from New York, so they ain't no real skyscrapers, you know. In New York, we got the real skyscrapers, you know what I'm saying? Where was I? What time is it? How long has I been? Almost an hour. How many people? Oh, we got some people up here. Yo, shout out, man. Let me know where you're from. Who are you? Introduce yourselves. Don't forget to like. You know, you can subscribe if you want to, but just like it. At least like it, because if you like it, then I get more algorithms if you want to comment. But yeah, I like to talk to you guys, man. You know, I love talking, but it's better if, we talk to each other. You tell me your experiences. If any guys on here that are currently overseas, just say I'm in this country. I'm here now. I'm over here now, because I've been to most of them, and I got a lot of knowledge about them. And I will be going live a lot. And sorry about that, my cameras. I'll be going live a lot in the future. You guys inspire me, okay? I was for a long time, I think for at least a year, I was just watching you guys. I would just watch you. You know what I'm saying? And I could relate to you. I was like, yeah, I know what they're talking about. I know exactly what they're talking about. So I was relating to a lot of you guys. I was just enjoying watching you guys video. But then I said, well, man, I got stories too. And I got a perspective. I haven't heard one of you guys who have your YouTube channel, I haven't heard one of you guys talked about. And that's going over there, getting paid to go over there and live over there as an entertainer. I heard some of you guys starting businesses and stuff like that. Cool. But that's a different life. You the guys who come to the club asking me to hook y'all up with girls. Okay? You're the same guys who will come to my club where I'm singing that with all these girls in there asking me, yo man, hook me up with old girl over there. I know you got the hook up, man. Hook me up with old girl. You know how many times would come up to me and ask me to hook them up with some girls? So I'm just keeping it real. Hey, I'm just saying, man. So there's different perspectives, and I haven't heard one of you guys tell a perspective from an entertainer's point of view. And if you are an entertainer out there, tell me what you do and where you perform at and what countries you were in. Maybe we probably crossed paths, or maybe I followed you or you followed me, into this place. A beautiful thing about Japan that I liked, or mostly not just Japan, all the countries, is what they would do. And I found this out after I started living there, and I wasn't just going there for a couple of months. I was actually living there and was band in a regular band, in a regular thing. The club owner would post a picture of the new band that's coming. And what I noticed these girls would do, they would already choose which guy in the band they want. So when the band got there, they're already going straight to that guy. I chose you. Yo, I'm not lying. This shit blew my mind. Dudes be coming, damn, yo, how that girl know me? I said, man, she saw your picture. She said, I want that guy right there. I want that guy right there. Matter of fact, I'll tell you a story. In Nagoya, I'm going to go back to Japan for a minute. Because Japan's less than 10 years, so I got a lot of history about Japan. So in Nagoya, I was singing in one of these host clubs. Now, at that time, they had clubs for women, like a hostess bar where the women entertain men. They had host clubs where the men would entertain these single women, and these women would pay to come to the club to be entertained. So I was part of the entertainment there, and I was a host. So when I wasn't singing, I was getting paid to sit and talk with these women. So here's what the club owner told me, and I'm gonna tell you what. Sorry, I'm getting dry. It's only water. And the club owner and the club said, Teddy, I'm gonna teach you how to get paid from these women. What you do, don't have sex with them. Make them believe the next time, so they keep coming back. Because once you start having relation with them, they're not gonna come to the club no more. They're gonna go straight to your where you live at, and then we can't make no money. But if you keep promising them the next time, they'll keep coming back to the club spending money. Then we make money. And what these girls would do, they would come to the club and bring you gifts to make you feel like you're special to them, so you can spend more time with them. Because there's a lot of women there in these clubs. There's a lot of single women in these clubs, man, that looking for attention because they're like, I think it's more in Japan. It's like either 5 or 6 women to every man. So there's not enough, and they know they gotta share. They know that because ain't enough men to go around, especially when you start talking about foreign men. Now they really gotta share, you know, because we're like the delicacy. We're not an everyday meal. We like the special course for them. So to get one of us is like top notch. So they know they gotta share. So these girls were like, they be putting in bidding wars. I'm telling you, they were putting bidding. I know she like you too. What she do for you? I do more. How much she pay for you? I pay more. You want to go shopping tomorrow? I buy you what you want. Whatever. We go. Okay? But I like you more. So you have to be with me more. I'm telling you, man. Yo. Hey, I'm just saying, yo. And see, you guys got me reminiscing now, and all this stuff is starting to come back. I done jumped back to Japan. I was talking about Singapore. Let's get back to Singapore. I got more. I already told you about Osaka, and that's one of my last lives. So if you guys are new who hadn't seen the last live I did, I was talking about Osaka. So go back and watch that one, Passport Bro, Osaka, and this one is Singapore, and then the next one is going to be Tokyo. So and that's going to be in a couple of days. I'm going to go live and talk about something. I got 10 years, y'all. I got time. I got time today. You got time? Y'all want to talk? Or you want to listen? Either way, I'm bringing it. So I'm going to go back to my conversation about Singapore, and then we're going to wrap it up. Ain't nobody howling. Yeah, you got to pay for nothing, man. You can say what's up. It's all good. You know, we all got Cash App, but that don't mean nothing. I don't, you know, do a thumbs up or something. Just say, cool, what's up? It don't cost you nothing. It don't cost you a dime. But it would be nice if you hit the like button, because then, you know, other people can see this video. Other Passport Bros can see this video too. So I just want you guys to know I'm one of the old schools. Look, most of you dudes wasn't even born, okay, when I was over there doing my thing. You see this? All right, so this is wisdom. Most of you guys wasn't even born then. So I'm just bringing you that OG's perspective, okay? I'm appreciating you, young G's. I'm appreciating you guys, okay? I love it. I love what you're doing. Like I say, y'all inspire me. You make me feel young again. You make me feel like I want to. Yeah, there's still some knowledge in this old body, you know. There's still some knowledge. I didn't wear it out. I didn't wear out the warranty, so I could still, you know, shake and bake a little bit here. I ain't trying to. I'm not kind of. I want to make sure I say this and clearly so everybody know. I'm the new guy on the block. I'm not here trying to compete with nobody. I'm not trying to take nobody's subscribers. I just want to hang out and be part of the crew, tell my stories, and eventually get to meet you guys when I start traveling again this summer, and hopefully meet some of you guys and start relations. I've been seeing a lot of things on Colombia. I've been in DR, so I know what that's like. And I talked about that in one of my first videos with the PLATTERS, because I was in DR in the 80s, in 86 or 87. One of those years, we were there for like a month. We was at Casa de Campo. That's one of those resorts, Casa de Campo, in DR, Dominican Republic. And that's another story. But I talked about that. I'll probably get back to that again, because I did all the Caribbean islands. We was in Aruba, the Virgin Islands, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. Never went to Cuba. I wish I could. Never went to Cuba. So, I said Virgin Islands, Bahamas, Trinidad. Oh man, we went to all those places with the PLATTERS. That's with the PLATTERS, but that's all in the 80s. So like I said, most of my world touring was in the 80s. But when I was with the Platters, but when I was solo artist, then I was basically in Asia, from Singapore to Japan. So yo, I'm glad some of you guys were sticking around. Seems like we got some people still here. Well, there's some people still here. I'll talk a little bit more because I'm happy that you're here listening to me talk. Singapore, the women, I always talked about how pretty women are, how clean the country is. They like American stuff. They love everything American. They love American sports. They love American style. And mostly they love the black version of it. So going to Singapore, just bring your swag. Whatever that swag is that you have, because everybody got that individual swag. So whatever your swag is, just bring your swag. Whatever that is, they're going to like it. They're going to like it. They're going to like it from Jump Street. So my next live, I'm going to be talking about Tokyo. Talking about Roppongi. Okay, so in Tokyo, we have where all the clubs and stuff at. That area is called Roppongi. And I spend a lot of times in a lot of those clubs. Pickford Live House was one of the main clubs I was in Roppongi with this group called the Science Band. I'm gonna post some stuff for that on my next live. We're gonna talk, man, the stories I'm gonna tell you about Tokyo. See, Singapore is more calm, relaxed, kind of laid back. Tokyo, wide open, wide open, wide open. I'm telling you. So be prepared for this stuff that's coming up on my next live on Tokyo, because I'm going to give it to you, man. I'm going to give it to you. You're going to be like, oh my God, man, when's you going back to Tokyo? I got to get back to Tokyo. But we talking over 20 years ago, right? Like I said, most of you guys wasn't even alive when I was doing this back in the 90s. And things have changed. You know, back then in the 90s, 80s and the 90s was the scene, because rap wasn't as it is today, right? So live music was still the thing. Live bands, they still wanted to hear the Bobby Browns. Like you saw all the stuff I'm doing, all the stuff, the BD. And I went over there at the right time in 91, 92, where we had all the hit records. We had Poison, Don't Be Cruel, I'll Be Sure. We had all the hit records. So I sung them all. R. Kelly, I sung them all. And so the beauty about that is that I got the treatment that the stars would get if they was there. And I got stories about some of the artists that came down to the clubs and saw me sing when they was on tour in Japan. So I'm going to talk about all that stuff. So I'm going to finish up with this Singapore series, the Singapore tour or Singapore blog. Teddy Fame, one of the original old school OGs, Passport Bros. And I want to say again for you guys, thanks for coming down. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out with me and listening to my stories. And like I said, we keep making them. I hope you guys keep coming back, and maybe you want to comment, and then we'll talk some more, ask me some questions, and we'll keep kicking it. We'll keep kicking it. I'm going to be here. I ain't going nowhere, man. I see how you guys were persistent. I was watching some of you guys. I saw you in the beginning of your vlogs, and you ain't had nobody on there. Y'all was up there just talking and talking and talking. And I said, man, I could do that. Ain't nobody listening, or maybe one or two people listening. And y'all had so much to talk about. And I said, man, I could do that. So now I'm in your seat. I'm in your shoes right now, so I'm seeing how that feels to do that. Man, this is cool. It's all right. I like this. Yeah, I like this. I like this. I like this. I'm going to do this more. All right. My name is Teddy Fame, man. It's your man, not your boy. I'll be back at y'all. 1.